Accountex 2019. There are 1,000 stories at Accountancy's big annual trade show. I'm John Stockdyke for AccountingWEB. Join me as I hunt down the trends that matter. It's day one at Accountex, and it looks like it's a case of the missing theme. For the past 3 years at this event, everything's been about making tax digital. It was absolutely phenomenal 2 years ago. That's subsided now. Everybody's got products that handle MTD. It's the time when practitioners come out and look for new practice management software. So there's a lot of activity on that front. We've seen some forecasting tools, and maybe, coming on the frontier is open banking, where the accounting software is actually beginning to blend into and connect to accounts. So those things are all fighting for attention and trying to fill the vacuum. But maybe the place to look first, the thing that got the big buzz this morning, was the launch of Clarity. They're a new exhibitor. They're founded by hyperactive entrepreneur Ainsley Damery, an old friend of AccountingWEB. He drew a big crowd to his talk earlier. I asked him afterwards, what is Clarity and what can it do for practitioners?
Clarity is all about making business simple. It's about putting accountants back as the heroes of the story. Post-MTD, we're all talking about moving from compliance to advisory. And for many people, that's fine for the top tiers in the firm, but how do we cascade that down through the ranks? How do we make advisory scalable? And having been accountants ourselves, we've understood the challenges of both small business and accountants. And so we think we're ideally placed to provide a solution that will help small businesses around the world build a better business. It is a solution that works straight out of the box, and it's very intuitive. The primary elements of the platform are, one, helping people understand the 7 key numbers in their business, how changes in those will impact their cash and profit, and how to go about achieving that. It's also about creating an online data room using blockchain as the fundamental basis to verify and create trust, transparency, and reliability to that data, using signatures of various governance documents using blockchain technology to enable small business owners and accountants to get access to funding and cash.
So that's Clarity and Ainsley Damery, who's going to bring blockchain into accountancy software. You heard it on AccountingWEB first. The other trend I mentioned that's affecting the show is open banking. It's been around for a year or two now, and people are beginning to wake up to it, but it's in the early stages of adoption. But who better to tell us more about it than Free Agent? This was the software company based in Edinburgh we used to know, who got taken over by Royal Bank of Scotland. So now, is it a bank? Is it accounting software? Let's go find out from Nick Longdon. So Nick, thanks for joining us. Is the accounting profession ready to begin to get to grips with open banking? What's happening there?
So I think this year, 2019, is going to be quite a watershed year for it. I think for the last 12, 18 months, accountants have been quite distracted very naturally by MTD and making sure that they're keeping the clients out of jail and making sure the clients are compliant, which is our number one sort of purpose. I think once now MTD is over, and certainly after August, I think accountants will start to look more towards what's next. And in my view, open banking and AI and how it works together is one of the next things that accountants should be looking at.
What sorts of things will open banking allow them to do?
Well, what open banking allows even now is it allows basically better, more reliable and enhanced bank feeds. So Free Agent were the first provider to provide bank feeds to RBS NatWest account holders on the open banking platform, replacing the old direct feeds and Yodlee. We're going to be having additional bank feeds coming out for HSBC, Lloyds, Santander, etc. in the next few weeks, literally a couple of weeks away. So that is here now and that's tangible. I think the next advantage and benefit that accountants are going to get from open banking really comes around things like payment initiation, so being able to make payments from within their financial accounting software, and also making the data available in a standardized format to a lot of other financial accounting services packages in the ecosystem that both accountants and their clients can actually benefit and help grow their businesses really.
Practice management is always a big thing at Accountex, but this year, as well as just becoming more efficient, there seems to be an extra stimulus. Vendors are bringing out parts and machines to help control the anti-money laundering regulations. So I'm coming over to Centre, one of those developers, going to find out what role it's playing in their new portal. James, thanks for joining us. I understand you've got a new portal. What are the elements that are driving demand for that and why you developed it?
Well, two big factors this year. I mean, the first is that I think practices are looking to get ever closer to their clients. So obviously the portal's a big part of that nowadays. Practices want clients to be updating their details, filling in forms, providing data in a way that's really easy. The other factor is AML seems to be a really big topic for us this year. We've had a lot of practices talking about AML.
Okay, and how are you solving that particular challenge for them?
So we've got a whole package of works coming on around AML, but the first part of it we've launched today at Accountex. So within Centre now, people can do their AML checks. So that's the first of a few things we're bringing around AML.
Thank you very much, James. It's not just Centre bringing new practice management tools to markets, the big boys are at it as well. Tax Calc behind me have got a new practice management module, and interestingly, one of the elements there is an anti-money laundering centre. Now, Iris likes to make a big splash as well. Last year, they grabbed the headlines by acquiring TaxFiler. This year, they're bringing practice management to the product as well. Iris CMO is here to tell us why and how. Nick, what is TaxFiler doing at the show?
Well, today at the show, we're announcing integrated practice management for TaxFiler. So we've already got a really great integrated cloud tax and account solution. We've been talking to the TaxFiler customer base, and what they wanted was centralized client management and the ability to manage the workload of the practice. So we teamed up with Will Farnell, who had been developing a solution, and we've integrated that solution into TaxFiler. So today at TaxFiler, every subscriber will be able to enjoy the benefits of cloud tax, cloud accounts, and cloud practice management, giving a single holistic view of their client and workflow through the practice.
Is there an anti-money laundering element in that as well?
So currently in TaxFiler, we're not building AML specifically into that, but at Iris World back in October, we announced Project Darwin, which was the next generation Iris platform for accountancy. Within that, the first product coming this summer will be AML, and that solution will be available probably across the whole portfolio. So AML will come in that way, and maybe, who knows, future down the road we will introduce specific AML KYC for TaxFiler, but that's not yet on the roadmap.
Those are just some of the highlights on day one at Accountex. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of other more stories. I've been on my quest. I know the story's out there somewhere. I haven't found it yet, but I'm going to be here for the next day and a half trying to find out what it is. Thanks for spending time with me, but I've got a job to do. There's still more stories to find out there. Take care till next time.